This video going to look at different ways of displaying hierarchical data. And really what we mean by that is data that has parents and children, data that sort of has categories and subcategories. And for illustration here, we've got a approximation of some Amazon book sales. So you can see there are genres of books. Mystery, for example, has several subgenres, and within each one has separate topics. So if you wanted to break down the sales data by genre, but also by subgenre and topic, there's a way we can do that using Excel. And this is also a nice way to help make complicated data simple to understand for your audience. And one of the charts to do that is a recent addition to Excel. It's called the tree map. So I'm going to start by highlighting my data set. And then I'm going to go to Insert and Recommended Charts. And so it's going to recommend a few different options for me. None of these are exactly what I want. So I'm going to click on the All Charts tab, go all the way down to Tree Map. And I click on OK, and here's my tree map. So I'll just make it a little bigger for us. The tree map gives you a graphical breakdown of each different category and its subcategory components. So for example, if I'm looking for my mystery category, I can see that mystery has subdivided into these three categories. And if I hover over them, I can see the value associated with each one. Now, the size of the different blocks correspond to the dollar amounts. So the smaller block within the tiles, that represents a smaller dollar amount. So visually, your audience can look at this and see what the big ones are, what the large contributors are to your data. Some blocks will be bigger than others. In this case, you can see visually that the orange category, the children's book, is the dominant one. And then within that, you can see how it's broken down. So tree maps are a great way to display this type of data. And again, it's a pretty new addition to Excel. If you've used other statistical programs like R, tree maps are they've been around for a while. So here is another option. If you don't like the tree map, there is also something in my recommended charts, all charts, called a sunburst diagram. What a sunburst diagram is, it's a series of concentric circles. So my categories, my large first order categories, are on the innermost ring. And as you move away from the center, those categories are subdivided into their respective subcategories. So you can see for children's books, for example, it occupies a pretty good chunk of the primary circle. As we scale out, we can see that is further subdivided into its component parts and then further divided. So this particular sunburst chart doesn't look great, only because some of these categories don't break down all to the same level. So this would be more complete if you had breakdown all around the same axis. But again, these have different subcategories. They're not all equal, and there's different proportions. So, but visually, you get an idea of how things look. Again, you've got the color representing the category. So a sunburst chart is a nice option to have. Sunburst charts are not available in Google Forms, I don't believe, but tree maps are, although Google Forms doesn't like the non-numerical data. But so in summary, for dealing with hierarchical data, for data with categories within categories, tree map is a good way of displaying that.